Christianity is being attacked right across the world. Look at the violence perpetrated against Christians in Nigeria. Thousands slaughtered in the most vile way, mostly by that disgusting organisation up in northern Nigeria called Boko Haram. And what are the fucking countries around the world doing about it? Nothing. You've got Turkey, clearly a Muslim country. That's the first time I ever heard the call to prayer. I remember I was on a flight with T-Mac, and at bloody 5:30 in the morning I heard this fucking call to prayer outside my window and the big loudspeaker. And I went, what the fuck is that? And when I went downstairs to have breakfast, the skipper said, oh, it's the call to prayer, Peter. I'd never heard it before. I got used to it living in the Middle East. But I tell you what, it should be banned in the UK. We don't fucking want to hear your fucking call to prayer because you do it, 5 times a day for some fucking reason. And Erdogan, who's a crook, I mean, he won that election in Turkey by rigging the votes and getting rid of the opposition. And now he wants to... Turkey labelled Christians as national security threats in order to deport them. Yep, that's Turkey, part of NATO, which is completely useless. Look at the situation in Ukraine, Slavia, Ukraine, and look what's happening there on a constant barrage of drones and missiles from Russia. And nobody does a fucking thing. However, I think Russia might be in a worse state than they think they are. Of course, they're always going to use the nuclear threat. For some reason, they think they're the only ones who can use nuclear weapons. Well, with all the rest of the fucking world who have got nuclear weapons, Russia, fucking wake up and smell the roses, you dipshits. If you fired one, we'd fire one. And how many fucking nuclear weapons? Well, we've got 6,000 fucking nuclear weapons. How many do you fucking need? You need a couple of hundred, and we've got a couple of hundred, and France has got a couple of hundred, and America's got fucking thousands, and North Korea's got them. India and Pakistan have got them, and I think Israel might have them as well, although they've never officially said so. Israel, well done, by the way. Thanks for sorting out the Middle East for us. What's happening with the peace deal in Gaza? I know I'm waffling on here a bit, but with the last time I saw some violence being perpetrated by those thugs there against their own very people, whereas all the demonstrations about that? But what I did see, I saw a demonstration here in the UK. Some lecturer was giving a lecture, and he had served in the IDF, but he's a Jewish and proud to be so. He was giving a lecture, and he was these pro-Palestinian students disrupt the lecture of Michael Ben Gad in London at the university, all covered in their fucking headbands and their fucking, because they're all gutless little shits. How fucking dare they? And he stood up to them. Well done. Don't put up with this shit. And they should be arrested. We can find out who they are quite clearly, quite easily, really, with modern bloody facial identification and body identification and all this technology we've got. These gutless cowards coming on TV, and, well, it won't be on TV. It won't be on TV. Mainstream media is shit in the UK, all right across the world. Apart from 1 or 2 channels. I mean, you can watch GB News up to a point. You get a bit tired of it eventually. And Fox News in America, which is the exact opposite of MSNBC and all the others, which are awful and unwatchable, like the BBC and Sky here in England, which are fucking dreadful. But you just got to pick the best. The only way you can find your news is you got to go on to streaming media, and you got to spend, like I have this morning, probably 3 hours now trying to find something to talk about that's actually fact. This is fact. Another interesting article I want to talk about is the United Nations. It's one of my favourite subjects. That, the BBC licence fee, which I think is fucking deplorable, and the United Nations, which I think is a fucking waste of space. They have done they do some good works behind the scenes with regards to vaccinations and things. But look at all the wars being perpetrated now. There's more wars going on now than you can poke a stick at, particularly in Africa, which is fucked up anyway. But you can't say that, of course, because then you're racist. But look at South Africa. Look at South Africa under white rule, and even when apartheid was up and running. Look how neat and tidy and clean and wonderful everything was in Pretoria and Johannesburg and Durban and beautiful Cape Town. Now look at parts of it. Even the South Africans themselves. And you go to most of Black Africa and see the state of it. I mean, I've spent time in Nigeria. A lot of time. Oh, my God. I don't know why. But I lost all my pictures. And I'm trying to find some of the pictures, but one of my favourites is an underpass when I was driving to the airport in the van with security guards always with automatic shotguns and AK-47s. And I remember driving under this underpass and there's a big sign up there, "Do not piss under the underpass." I didn't make that up, that's actually true. I've got a little joke to tell you. This is true. We're in Lusaka many years ago. I was on T-Mac in the 44 and I was a co-captain. Well, I wasn't actually, I was a co-pilot and the lowest of the low, but I had a really nice skipper at Minnie Baines, and we were going to the hotel in our transport, and we got pulled up by this guy he put up a hand signal. He was directing traffic, and he said, and I'm not making this up, this is not taking the piss anyway, but it is funny, and it's true. He said, what colour am I? And Minnie went, and I looked at him and I said, well, light brown. He said, no, what colour am I? And Minnie said, black. He said, no, when I do this, I am red. When I do this, I am green. Be on your way. Thank you very much. It's a true story. And also the United Nations Council veto usage by permanent members since 1946, the first meeting, which was held here in London. Who's used the veto most? These are permanent Security Council members. There's 5 of them, and that's the USSR, Russia, United States, United Kingdom, France and China. Who's used it the most? Guess! Prize for the winner, yes, the USSR, 129 times. Closely followed, well, actually a long way behind, 89 with the US, and then the UK only 29, France 16 and China 19. The other members can say no, but they don't have the veto. They're only the 5 permanent members. So you can have the whole of the United Nations voting for a resolution and one permanent member of the Security Council doesn't agree, doesn't go through. Really democratic. Bit like the EU and their 250,000 members. I don't know who the fuck they are anymore. And one of them says, no, that resolution doesn't go through. It's really fucking ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, it's not democratic. It's supposed to be democratic, but it ain't democratic if you get my drift. Anyway, a big cold snap coming across America and called out to global warming. So we've got to get rid of all our, we've got to eat vegan food from now on. And I'm becoming a vegan. I've decided when I turn 100, I'll become vegan. So in 16 years' time, I'll be a vegan. Will I still be around, according to some of you, at some of your comments? Hopefully not. You are funny, though. I love you all. You're all just terrific. And I'm not AI. I'm not artificially intelligent. I'm actually intelligent. Actually, that's quite funny, isn't it? I think that's quite funny. Anyway, it's Friday, for fuck's sake. And what's the time? Oh, it's coming up to 11 o'clock on Friday morning. And I wish you all well. I think you're all amazing. Take care and look after yourself, for Pete's sake.